Hi, my name is Joel Compton, and my problem is the overfilled landfills in Istanbul and what we can do about that. So, first question is, why is this subject important to me? Well, the subject is important to me because I am interested in learning how to clean up these landfills, and I think this is a problem that everybody deals with. I mean, we all deal with trash on a weekly, if not daily basis, so it's important that we consider what we do with that trash. Why did I choose this topic? Well, actually, I didn't choose it. One of my teammates chose it, but I'm glad that she did because it helped me to think through some things that I wouldn't have thought through otherwise. What are my opinions, thoughts, and feelings about this? Well, I feel like everybody can do a little bit more to keep the landfills from filling up so quickly. Each of us can learn how to recycle or try to learn how to compost. For example, each of us can bring vinyl bags to the grocery store instead of using the plastic bags. We can all save our money to buy an aluminum or glass water bottle instead of using the plastic water bottles. There are little decisions that we can make throughout the day and week to improve the situation that we have in the landfills. What were the challenges of choosing a problem? How did we overcome these? Well, of course, I think initially the challenges were choosing which of our projects to do. Emily made a really good pitch for her project, and I liked it, and then Lorraine liked it as well. Actually, Lorraine had a similar idea. She wanted to talk about the problem of dirty streets and throwing trash into the streets and how to clean up that. My idea was actually a lot different. I'm a law student, so I wanted to do a project on obsolete or laws which are not necessary for today and how to change those laws. In fact, we actually had a fourth partner who wanted to do a project on learning disabilities in children in the eastern part of Turkey, and she was dead set. She wanted to do this project. We didn't want to do that project, so she sold her idea to some other people and left our group. But that's okay, because it's not so much about doing the project with my friends as it is having a chance to do a project that we really believe in and we want to do. So go with a person whose ideal you like rather than just your friends. What were some challenges of choosing a solution and finding a source, and how did we overcome these? Well, initially the problem was finding good sources. We all had to do several internet searches before coming up with a good source. But I finally found a good source, and the next challenge was taking the information from that source and applying it to the current problem. So in other words, there were some things that were being done in New York City, but the question was, or the problem was, how to take that solution in New York City and apply it to the problem in Istanbul. And so how do we overcome that? Well, we thought about it, we talked about it, and eventually we were able to come with our specific solution. Am I satisfied with our solution? Why or why not? Yeah, I'm overall satisfied because I think it is something that everyone is able to do. Composting, that is. It's very practical. Everybody can learn how to compost. So if you don't know, composting is creating organic matter from food or leaves or things that have decomposed, putting it into a bin, and with some water, air, maybe even worms, it turns into a substance called humus, and then that substance can be used in topsoil. So I think everybody can learn how to do that. What were the challenges of working in a group? As usual, the challenges, the difficulties were those related to working with people. For example, who was going to design the website? Who was going to find the pictures? Who was going to write the information on the website? So we ended up splitting up the work evenly so that I designed the website and did the pictures. Emily and Lorraine wrote the problem paragraph. Then Emily copy and pasted our solutions into a document that helped us as we did our podcast. We then all did the podcast together. Finally, Lorraine looked over the entire website and made sure that it was just perfect and made some small corrections to make it, to put the final touches on it. Did I enjoy working in a group? Well, I did. I mean, sometimes we were tired, so we just did little parts of it here and there. But then other times, we had a lot of energy and we were able to get a lot accomplished. I mean, it's just kind of, we went with the flow of, what we felt for that day. What have I learned about myself from this process? How will this change my project or presentation? Well, I've learned that I like working in groups. I like putting together a final project that is organized and beautiful. I like helping people, and I think our project helps people to solve the problem of overfilled landfills. So I'm not sure if there's anything that we actually need to change on our project, but it's from our conversations and discussions, we were able to get to the point where we wanted the project to be. How have your thoughts and feelings on this problem changed from the beginning to now on this process? Well, at first, I didn't think this was going to be a big problem. After all, landfills are huge and can hold a lot of trash. But after 10 or 15 years, they get too full. The problem is, actually the greater problem is, whatever the size of the landfills are, they're not healthy for the nearby rivers or the soil. So I feel like I've come to a greater knowledge about the necessity to reduce the amount of waste going into landfills and to help our environment stay a little bit cleaner. What is the most important thing that I have learned during this process? Well, I think for me, it was working on the solution. I didn't come up with a problem, and I was very excited to tackle this problem, this project, because I think we're trying to make the world a better place. So coming up with that solution to make a world a better place, and not just for me, but for my family and for future generations. It was emotionally and intellectually satisfying to think through how we could make this problem, reduce the problem, or even make it go away entirely. Is there anything else I would like to share about this experience? Well, I mean, honestly, the work was difficult and time-consuming, and trying to match all of our schedules up together was tough, but I think the end product is something I can share with others and be very proud of. Plus, I do want to try to do composting at my house, so thank you for listening to this presentation. Do you have any questions? Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
Bakalım. Kaç dakika oldu?
Dakika